Checkmating with two rooks is one of the easiest things in chess, and I will guide you through this. Before we actually start, let's speak about the concept. We will only use two rooks, and often this is also referred as the leather mate. So we will use it as leathers. What does this mean? We have a rook that is always containing the king's movement, and we have a rook that is checking. So here, for example, let's play rook to a3. And now we contain the third rank. The opponent's king cannot move there. The black king cannot move there. And we played this because it is on e4. Let's say it moves to d4. I would love to bring the other rook here and check, because this rook on the third rank is controlling the third rank. The king wouldn't be able to go down to the third rank as much. But unfortunately, our own rook is in the way. So what do? Well, we just move it to the other end of the board on the third rank, and the king goes to c4. This rook is still containing the king. The king cannot move to the third rank. Now it's time for the other rook to check on the fourth rank. You see the king must move to the fifth rank, attacks our rook. We don't want to lose it, so we move to g4. And I'm sure you know why not to h4, because then the rooks would block each other. This is not our goal. We don't want this. The rook goes here to g4. Let's say the king stays on the fifth rank. Again, we have a rook controlling the fourth rank. So we check the king on the fifth rank. The king is in check and cannot move down, so it goes to the sixth. Then the rook that is on the fifth just stays there. We use the other rook for check. The king must move again up. Why? Because everything is controlled here. And we check again. King goes here. Now we do not check here because it would be taken. We just swing to the other side. King attacks our rook. We move our rook to b7 and we threaten mate. Why? Because this rook controls the seventh and the king can go nowhere after the check. This is a checkmate. Actually, white could also mate in a different way. Let's just go back. Way here, we can also use the files. So here, for example, white could play rook to d2. The king comes closer. We go to d8. Let's say the king goes here. And now you see we are going to use this method. So we just bring in the other rook here. King walks closer to the rooks here. We check. It attacks our rook. We just go down. Goes here. So this check is not possible. Also, checking here doesn't make much sense because now this file is not controlled. The king would escape this way. Still would end in a mate ultimately if you know how to mate it, but would take us a little bit longer. We don't want to let it escape, so rook to d2. King tries to come down, and here we are just checking, and as you see, the king has not many squares left and finally is checkmated. This is mating with two rooks. Very easy. Keep in mind how it's working. You will need it a lot, I believe. See you in the next video.